Yun Family's Little Nine is Super Mischievous Chapter 1, Why? Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Qingxian Continent, East China, and the monster forest of Yeqing 20 miles away. Too lacking virtue. Too much. It's unbearable. God. You play me. A black charcoal ball jumped on his feet, pointing at the sky with his hips and cursing. Suddenly, a lightning struck in the sky. Although the black charcoal ball climbed into the tree next to it very quickly, the lightning seemed to have long eyes and turned a corner, splitting the black charcoal ball. Are in front. Black charcoal ball fell down from the tree and collapsed to the ground. Just after the black charcoal ball fainted, a person fell in the sky and fell heavily on the ground dozens of feet away from the black charcoal ball. Black charcoal ball woke up soon and was about to scold, remembering the lightning just now, muttering in a small whisper. God, it's not me who scolded you. You said that in the modern era, Yinzhou was mixed from a small beggar to an agent of a bull fork. He used the golden cicada to remove the shell and leave the organization. When he was about to enjoy a great life, why was he cut by a thunder all right? Just pass through, why wear it on this black girl? It's just a long black. Why is it still a wastewood that can't be cultivated? Why? Yunjiu sighed and groaned, remembering this body experience. Tears could not help but flow down. The original owner perfectly explained what is called if you do not die, you will not die. This body is called Yun Chujiu, and his face is dark, not to mention, it is still a wastewood that cannot be cultivated. And it's an abandoned child. He was thrown into the woods of Luoxia Mountain just after he was born. Fortunately, I met the kind-hearted Yun Changqing couple. Yun Changqing and his wife Lin Biyun have been married for many years and have no children under their knees. They accepted Yun Chujiu as a foster daughter and brought them back to the Yun family. Because it was picked up on the day of the ninth day of the ninth day, Yun Chujiu's ranking in the Yun family was again the ninth, so he was named Yun Chujiu. The Yun family in Yeqing was a celebrity cultivating family. Yun Changqing was the youngest son of Yun Xiaotian, the head of the Yun family. His talent was amazing, and he was very popular with Yun Xiaotian. Yun Chujiu fell into a honeypot. Where did you think that when Yun Chujiu was 5 years old, she discovered that she was a wastewood that could not be cultivated? Fortunately, it's not a matter of luck, but misfortune is not alone. When Yun Chujiu was 8 years old, Yun Changqing and his wife had lost their news and had no whereabouts when they completed the family mission. Over time, everyone could only helplessly accept the fact that the two had passed away, and built their 2 tombs. Yun Chujiu's little pitiful position in the Yun family is awkward. She was a foster daughter herself, a wastewood that she couldn't cultivate, and she lost the protection of her adoptive parents. Yun Chujiu's sensitive little heart began to speculate maliciously about the Yun family. Izumo home. At this time, Bai Moyu, the scumbag, appeared. A few worthless disgusting words, a few pieces of dry pastry, let the original lack of the two moved. The idiot in the original body didn't even think about it. Bai Moyu was the second son of the Bai family who was dead at the opposite side of the Yun family. You followed him all day long and greasy. Although Yun Xiaotian was very angry about her behavior, but for her young age and pitiful life, she only gave a word of exhortation and did not treat her. But the original idiot thought that Yun Xiaotian could not see her better. Under Bai Moyu's instigation, the goods did a few things that were sorry for the Yun family. And, today, the fool did another stupid thing enough for the Yun family to drive her out of the house. This article is officially renamed, Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pita, just changed a vest, the core is unchanged. Yun family's Little Nine is Super Mischievous Chapter 2, Big Sheep. Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Under the instigation of Bai Moyu, the 2 goods of the original body stole a 3rd-level elixir of polymorphism from the Yun family, which was painstakingly and costly. That Shaoling pill is Yun Xiaotian's preparation for the 7th level of spiritual refining. This is okay, and he was sent directly to his opponent by the original body. It can be imagined how much people in the Yun family hate Yun Chujiu. This is simply raising a white-eyed wolf. Today was originally a day of death for Yun Chongqing and his wife. The original wonderful flower actually took advantage of this day to Yun Xiaotian, the master of the Yun family, and stole Zhu Lingdan. This product stole the panacea and came to the periphery of the monster forest agreed with Bai Moyu, full of fantasies about Bai Moyu taking her away and flying high. Unexpectedly, Bai Moyu immediately changed his face after getting the panacea. After a bit of sarcasm and ridicule, he kicked the original body directly to the ground. The unlucky egg of the original body hit his head on the stone and burped. When Bai Moyu saw Yunchu was dead, he didn't care about it, and went back to Yecheng. Anyway, in this monster forest, monsters are everywhere, and the corpses will soon be eaten by monsters. Yun Chuzhou was so speechless to the strangeness of his original body. Actually, he has done so many virtues for a scum man. There will be a lot of beautiful men waiting for you in the future, okay? Are you in a hurry? For a crooked neck tree, he made himself dead. Really, pitiful and hateful. Yun Chuzhou thought of what he had to face when he returned to Yun's house. Fuck. It's a blessing, not a curse can't be avoided. Yun Chuzhou adjusted herself psychologically, wiped the tears on her face with her sleeves, took her short legs and prepared to return to Yecheng. Yun Chuzhou didn't go far, and suddenly his eyes lit up. Huh. There is a person lying in front of him, it should be a dead person, because there is no sound of breathing, otherwise Yun Chuzhou's ear strength will have been discovered long ago. Although Yun Chuzhou was an agent, she was very greedy for life and death. For safety reasons, she picked up a small stone and threw it at the man. The little stone was hitting the man's back, and nothing happened. Yun Chuzhou smiled and got rich. This hapless clothes looks extraordinary, there must be many good things on his body. Yun Chuzhou seemed to see a lot of gold and silver beckoning to herself, and she leaped to the man's front. Hey! Are you still alive? Yun Chuzhou poked the man with the branch, but still no response. After looking at the man's clothes, Yun Chu narrowed his eyes and grinned. Huh, it seems that God is reliable, and gave her a big fat sheep. This fabric is extraordinary at first glance. There must be a lot of gold and silver treasures on this person. Yun Chuzhou turned the man over and was stunned. By beautiful man. What little fresh meat, what male god, all standing sideways. This is the best. Huh, look at this face shape, gee, look at this nose. Yun Chuzhou sighed for a long time and sighed, unfortunately, it's a dead man no matter how good looking it is. It's so pretty. Yun Chuzhou is also a person who has seen the world, and after a moment of stunning, he began to be busy with business. Beauty, I'm sorry. I won't bring this money for life, and I won't take it to death. I will make it difficult for me to help you with it. Yun Chuzhou finished and began to turn over the men's clothes. After turning for a long time, let alone gold and silver treasures, I didn't turn over a penny. Yun Chuzhou was angry. Fuck. It turned out to be a flower shelf. You said you, white blind you this face, is actually a poor ghost. Outrageous. Yun Chuzhou was furious and coughed, and chopped the man off, lighted it. Yun Family's Little Nine is Super Mischievous Chapter 3, Just O. Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Your clothes are not bad, just because my clothes are dirty, I will reluctantly accept them. My person is kind, as long as one coat is enough. Yun Chuzhou took off the man's coat 2 or 3 times. Although the wound behind Yun Chuzhou's head recovered strangely, there were still some blood stains and mud on the clothes. This goods took off his clothes and put the men's clothes on his body, just be bigger. Stronger than my dirty suit. Unexpectedly, the suit actually shrunk automatically, and the size and weight became just right. Yun Chuzhou's eyes showed a pleasant light, and said happily, baby. I didn't expect this white-face dress to be so good. Yun Chuzhou rolled his eyes and put his clothes on the outside of the suit. The so-called wealth is not exposed. Such a good baby, don't be worried. Huh? Is there something in this little white face? Yun Chuzhou found that the man's right hand was clenched tightly, as if there was something in it. How could Yun Chujiu miss this great opportunity to make a fortune, and spent the power of 9 cows and 2 tigers, and finally broke the man's hand, sullied, a dead man, so much strength. She could not help being disappointed when she saw something in the man's hand. When I picked it up and smelled it, there was only a trace of fragrance, and I couldn't help but pouted. It's worthless at first glance, and good spirits are said to be smelly. Yun Chujiu just happened to be thirsty. He simply clicked on the fruit and gnawed away in a few bites. She threw the core away, and she was about to leave. Inadvertently glancing at the handsome features of the man, the ghost messenger touched his face. Hand and feel pretty good. Day. What is she doing? Yun Chujiu's face, which was as thick as the city wall, suddenly turned red, stuttering and said, I don't want to take advantage of you, I just owe it. Yes, I just owe it. What, little white face, thank you for your clothes. I do have to dig a hole for you because I have little strength. I believe there will be monsters to help you return to the dust and the soil. Never see you again. Yun Chujiu finished panicking and walked away with his hands and feet. After half an hour, several black dots appeared in the sky. After the men in black fell on the ground, they looked at the men on the ground and were dumbfounded. When the men in black were forced, the man on the ground suddenly opened his eyes. If Yun Chujiu sees a man at this time, he will not be associated with a little white face, because as the man's eyes open, the gas of killing will spread, and it will only make people feel that this is a trembling. Shocking God. The man glanced at the group of people in black, and one of the leaders responded the fastest, turned around with a swish, and then fell to his knees. The rest of the men in black suddenly awakened, and quickly learned what the man was like, turned around and knelt to the ground. If you look closely, you will find that they are trembling slightly. Oh my God, which dog is brave, but what is it? Sovereign rejected so many Miss Family, the elite martial arts, did not expect to be taken away innocently by the most inconspicuous Qingxian continent. There is a serious cleanliness in respect, and people are not allowed to approach within 3 feet. Unexpectedly, in the wilderness of Qingxian continent, if someone is given, just give it, what is it? What kind of woman does this have to have? The person in their mouths froze for a moment with their teeth clenched, and then flashed away, and they disappeared. Yun Family's Little 9 is Super Mischievous Chapter 4, Slapping Alchemy. Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. The Wind Protector, where is it? A man in black carefully asked the leading man in black. The corner of the leading black man's mouth twitched. Not far away, there is a waterfall. You must go to bath. These people in black collectively twitched the corners of their mouths, and someone asked doubtfully, it stands to reason that no one on Qingxian continent is a respected opponent. Ha! That female pervert must have taken the risk of being a man, and that's why it's so strong. A black man said angrily. How do you know it's a female pervert? Maybe it's a male. Everyone was stunned by this hypothesis. God, they were spotless. What happened to the honor of the hibiscus out of the water by the man? The people suddenly felt that their sins were unforgivable, and they made their honor humiliated by them. They simply deserved to die. After a moment, the venerable Emperor Beatty returned with low air pressure. The leading black man swallowed in the dark wind and asked with courage, Sovereign, haven't you picked Linglong Cabernet Sauvignon? Why? When the deity is controlling the sword, a sky thunder suddenly appeared above his head. The deity's cultivation behavior was suppressed again, and he was struck by thunder and lightning under unexpected circumstances. Emperor Baiming's face was blue. How could there be sky thunder for no reason? And it is still a huge purple sky thunder. It's so strange. The dark wind shrank his neck, and he asked tentatively, Sovereign, have you ever made Linglong Cabernet Sauvignon? Well. Emperor Baiming agreed lightly. The dark wind said excitedly, Great. Venerable, as long as Linglong Cabernet Sauvignon is refined into Liang pill, you can temporarily suppress the cold poison in your body. Emperor Baiming snorted coldly, and everyone just felt that the whole body was frozen. It was eaten by others. Everyone followed Emperor Baiming's gaze and saw a gnawing and clean core on the ground in the distance. Everyone suddenly had a guess in my heart, my God. That bold and perverted wolf not only strengthened his respect, but also ate Linglong Cabernet Sauvignon. Look for me. Find that thing, kill. Refining medicine. Beiming squeezed a few words out of his teeth. The dark wind gritted his teeth and asked with courage, Sovereign, is that thing male or female? What are the characteristics? It should be a woman, mean, shameless, indecent, greedy for money, lustful. She stole my snow silk brocade shirt, and you will check the rest. Don't come back to see me if you can't find anyone. Beiming remembered what Yun Chuzhou had done to himself, and his face was gloomy and scary. Although he did not have hearing and sight at the time, he still had touch. That thing even dared to steal the deity's clothes. The most unforgivable thing is, actually, it is really looking for death. Although Beiming had washed the waterfall several times, he still felt uncomfortable. The dark wind and everyone listened to the words of Emperor Beiming, and it was messy. What should be a woman? Is it really possible that venerable man is stronger? Forget it. The deity went to shoot that thing personally. Refining medicine. There was still a trace of curiosity in the heart of Beiming's heart. What kind of ghost thing dare to be so dear to the deity? It's a brave one. Yun Chuzhou didn't know that he had been remembered by the killing god. This curse was cursing the original owner without tears. The reputation of the original owner is simply terrible. Out of the monster forest, several people were met. Despite Yun Chu's begging and begging of Bai Lai, no one was willing to take her. Seeing Yun Chuzhou looked like a dog or shit, with a look of disdain. Go away. You waste. That is, it looks like it's a waste to be ugly, and it's really shameless to rely on Master Moyu all day long. The Yun family really got blood mold, and actually raised such a white-eyed wolf. I heard that today is the anniversary of Yun Chongqing and his wife. Yun Chuzhou did not pay homage to his foster parents at home. What did he do here? It's needless to say, it must have been around Moyu's son. It's shameless. Yun Chuzhou had to walk back to Yeqing sadly. Yun family's little 9 is super mischievous. Chapter 5, Little White Face is coming. Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Yun Chuzhou went outside the gate of the Yun family, and the guards saw Yun Chuzhou coming back. Despite the contempt, he still stepped forward to give a gift. Miss 9, you are back. Well, I'm back. You have worked hard, and used the money to drink tea. Yun Chuzhou pulled out a piece of broken silver and threw it to the two guards. Until Yun Chuzhou went out far away, the mouths of the two guards did not close. My mother, is this Miss 9 crazy? Usually it looks like a tall one. Why is it so approachable today? Also, reward them with silver. Yun Chuzhou was trying to sneak back to his yard and was dragged into the corner by a young girl. Yun Chuzhou. Do you still have a face back? You are a white-eyed wolf. Your grandfather is so good to you, you stole Zhu Ling Dan. Today is an uncle's death day, you actually did this kind of thing. You're as good as a pig. You don't have to surrender Zhu Ling Dan quickly. Otherwise, your grandfather can't keep you. Yun Chu narrowed his neck, and the girl in front of him, dressed in a moon-white dress, had a charming appearance, like a rose with thorns. This young girl is Yun Chuzhou's cousin Yun Chu. Five elder sister, I will go back to the yard to change clothes first, and immediately go back to the grandfather. Yun Chuzhou dared to say that Zhu Ling Dan gave it to Bai Moyu. If it was said, Yun Chu could take her have eaten. After Yun Chuzhou finished his speech, regardless of Yun Chu's scolding in the back, he ran back to his yard. My mother. I scared my little heart. I haven't said that I would give the white medicine to Bai Moyu. If I say that, I have to pick my skin. What can I do? Yun Chuzhou entering his house, he slumped on the chair. Yun Chuzhou, do you say you are stupid? Ah. Are you stupid? Look at your yard, the furnishings in your house, which one is not a boutique? The Yun family treats you so badly, you actually do such a terrible thing. It hurts me to clean up the mess for you. When Yun Chuzhou was muttering, suddenly his scalp was numb, and his hair was all raised. Dangerous. It's murderous. With a bang, Yun Chuzhou watched his door become a pile of slag. The whole room swayed as if it collapsed at any time. What happened? Earthquake? Or did the Yun family come to beat her up? When Yun Chuzhou was suspicious, her body couldn't move at all. Suddenly, she was sucked into the courtyard directly by a force of suction. With a snap, Yun Chuzhou was severely dropped on the ground, and his face was still on the ground. Yun Chuzhou was completely ashamed. Although knowing this time and space, people practice something called spiritual power, but this is too mysterious. Yun Chuzhou heard someone sneer, and then he was able to move. When Yun Chuzhou got up and saw what he was looking at, he snapped back and sat back on the ground. Yun Chuzhou folded his hands and kept mumbling, "Heavenly spirit, earth spirit, little white face, ah, no, beautiful man, although I robbed you of your clothes, but I killed you. If you have a debt, you should go find the murderer. I will burn more paper money for you on the 15th day. Beautiful man, when you look at your appearance, you were a wealthy man with a big heart and an open mind. You will certainly not have the same general knowledge as my little pitiful person. My life is terrible. The listener is sad and the tears are heard. Look at me, it's just an abandoned baby, it's ugly, it's a waste that can't be cultivated. It's just a waste, and it's not good for the brain to be deceived by a man. I am really forced to borrow your clothes. If you want it, I'll take it off." Yun Family's Little 9 is Super Mischievous Chapter 6, I Love You Male God. Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Yun Chuzhou said that he began to undress slowly, and a cunning light flashed from his eyes. She didn't believe in haunting, corpse or the like, this person must be in a state of suspended animation at that time, she was also careless, check it well. What should we do now? This little white face is so powerful that she has no ability to fight him head-on. Emperor Baiming frowned, and originally he planned to directly shoot Death Cloud Chuzhou. Unexpectedly, Yun Chuzhou kept talking all the time. No one dared to whisper so many words around him. Yun Chuzhou's expression was rich and changeable, and Emperor Beishi was stunned for a while. Yun Chuzhou had already taken off his set of broken clothes at this time, so he had to slowly take off the suit of Emperor Baiming. Anyway, there were linings in it, and he was not afraid to run out. Emperor Baiming saw Yun Chuzhou not speaking anymore, raised his hand, and was about to kill Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou Guang saw the movement of Emperor Baiming, and his heart shook. This little white face was about to die, what should I do? How to do? Yun Chuzhou rushed forward, hugged Emperor Baiming's thigh directly. Male God. I know, male, you are not dead. You must have come to save me, this little pitiful. In fact, I lied just now. When I saw you, I fell in love at first sight. I stole your clothes because of me, I am pleased with you. I really love you so much. I thought you were dead, so under the heartache, you had to steal your clothes and use them to see things. Wearing your clothes is like you have always been by my side. Oh, I know, it's wrong for me to do so. However, if you look at my love for you, just spare me. My pink girl's heart is burning for you. The dark wind hidden in the dark, and others almost smirked. This black girl is too good. A pink girl's heart. It should be the color heart. Where has D. Baiming seen such a posture? The past suitors are shy and timid one by one, seeing D. Baiming's words are unfavorable, let alone such a straightforward show of love. Under the warm confession of Yun Chuzhou, Emperor Baiming not only did not notice that Yun Chuzhou was holding his thigh, but also felt a trace of fluttering strangely. However, when D. Baiming remembered Yun Chuzhou's last few strokes, his face became gloomy again, and his hands raised again. Yun Chuzhou was also out to save his life. For the sake of life, his skin can stand side by side with the sun. Male God. Male God. Everything I do is because of love. I really have no resistance to your charm, so, that's why I can't help myself. Love is innocent. God, if you want to kill me, then kill it. If you can die in your hands, even if I become a ghost, I will laugh and bloom. Come on, male god. Let your slap come stronger. I die without regret. Yun Chujio raised his black face, but it was a happy expression. There was only a tear in the corner of my eyes. Emperor Baiming didn't know if it was Yun Chujio's words or the tears, and he raised his hand and slowly let it go. Emperor Baiming frowned, and it seemed a pity to kill this little thing. She seemed to have some truth. Cough, he is so good, and she loves him. But what if the cold poison in his body is not made if she is not made into medicine? Linglong Cabernet Sauvignon, that's what I use to cleanse the body of cold poison. Hearing Emperor Bei Mingqing's voice, Yun Chujio could not help but scold, it is really unfair, this little white face not only looks good, but the sound is so nice. But, I have eaten it, and I can't spit it out. Yun Chujio said pitifully. What's so difficult? It's okay to make you a panacea. Di Baiming said quietly, as if this was a common thing. Yun family's little 9 is super mischievous chapter 7, Xiao Bai, I and you are at odds. Pen Fun Club www.ntlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Yun Chujio finally managed to control the inner power of the flood. Damn it. Grandma is a man. Is human. Not herbal. Refining medicine. Make your grandma a leg. Damn it. Just can't beat you, otherwise you have to bloom the thousands of peach flowers you beat. Yun Chujio scolded a few words in his heart, and then said pitifully, Male god, look at me so dark, and there are internal organs, what kind of medicine is definitely ugly? It's disgusting. You must have difficulty swallowing, right? Emperor Baiming really frowned, and looked at Yun Chujio in disgust. There is no way, Linglong Cabernet Sauvignon is very scarce, and it's too much to rinse your mouth. The deity can bear it. The villain in Yun Chujio's heart had pinched Emperor Baiming to death for half a year. Mother and mother were dead, and they were still disgusted. I can't beat you, otherwise I will strangle you. Yun Chujio's head is running fast, what should I do? It seems that the broken fruit is very important for this little white face. I knew that she would not eat it. The taste is not good at all, it is not as good as radish. Emperor Baiming raised his hand again. Although the little thing that is black and slippery is interesting, it is still important to suppress the cold poison in the body. Yun Chujio felt that the shadow of death had enveloped herself. What she hated most was the feeling of being a filthy fish. She must become stronger, she must become stronger. When it was more dangerous, Yun Chujio calmed down, and her brain was moving fast. Suddenly, she bit her index finger. Male god. Blood. My blood must also be able to detoxify. You my blood. The effect is definitely better than the alchemy. In a hurry, Yun Chujio simply inserted his finger directly into Di Baiming's mouth. The smell of Yun Chujio's blood had a strong attraction for Di Baiming, who subconsciously sucked it up. Those people in the dark looked at each other dumbfounded. Respect, your cleanliness. Respect, what is your morality? Okay, take the black girl to death and use it to make medicine. Just let the black girl cry for a long time while holding her thighs. Actually, she still contains people's fingers. Yun Chujio's small face is gray, rely on. Is this little white face a vampire? Actually sucked so much, still not talking. Is the old lady going to die from the blood? Finally, Di Baiming relaxed his mouth with satisfaction. Unexpectedly, the blood of this black thing turned out to be better than the elixir of refined Cabernet Sauvignon. If you take it once in an interval, you should be able to remove the cold from the body. Emperor Baiming now looks at Yun Chujio very much. He thought of countless ways, but he failed to completely remove the cold and poison from his body. He did not expect to have an unexpected harvest in Qingxian continent. Black things, you are very good, what reward do you want? Yun Chujio looked at Di Baiming's slightly upturned corner of his mouth, and he was alert in his heart. Why did this little white face suddenly change its attitude? Male god, this is what I should do, and I don't want any rewards. Yun Chujio held his breath, and squeezed a little red on his dark cheeks. Di Biming looked at Yun Chuzhou's admiring look, and there was a trace of complacency in his heart. It seemed that the black thing didn't lie to him. She really fell in love with the deity. Although it is impossible for the deity to like such a black thing, but for her foresight, she can help her. Come here. Di Biming glanced at Yun Chuzhou. Although Yun Chuzhou was suspicious in his heart, he still got in front of Emperor Biming. Male god, what did you tell me? Emperor Biming slapped a hand on Yun Chuzhou's chest. Yun Chuzhou fainted before there was only one thought in his mind, Mom. Xiao Bai, I and you are at odds. I can't spare you as a ghost. Yun Family's Little 9 is Super Mischievous Chapter 8, Little Girl. Pen Fun Club www.mtlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. After Di Biming slapped a palm, a white veil appeared in his hand, and he rubbed at Yun Chuzhou's black and thin right wrist several times before he discussed it and reached into Yun Chuzhou's wrist. The dark wind and other people's faces are dumbfounded, and they don't know what madness is sent by their own esteem. Obviously, they still contain the fingers of their black girls. Why did they think they were dirty when they did so? After a while, Emperor Biming frowned, seeming somewhat puzzled. Dark wind, you leave behind to protect black things secretly, but, under the premise that her life is worry-free, she doesn't have to shoot. Emperor Biming threw the veil on the ground, and with the remaining black men lost their traces, leaving only the dark wind cluttered in the wind. Venerable, what do you mean? Let me protect this black girl in Qingxian continent, where the bird does not shit. Don't you think it's overkill? Also, what is the use of this black girl? Want to protect her from Mao? Since you want to protect her, why are you beating out? Don't you have to shoot when you are worry-free? What does this mean? At this time, a little girl ran over, and the dark wind quickly hid in the dark. Miss. What's the matter with you? Xiao Mao saw Yun Chuzhou falling to the ground and called out quickly. Yun Chuzhou opened her eyes confusedly. Did she die? She was not shot to death by that little white face. Yun Chuzhou looked at the little girl who was talking. In order to facilitate the meeting with Bai Moyu, the original girl sent all the girls in the yard, leaving only a timid little girl Chunyu. The original body left this maid, or because her name was Chunyu, which is the same pronunciation as Bai Moyu's Yu, and the original body really fell into devil with Bai Moyu. Chunyu just went to the water room to get hot water. As soon as he entered the yard, he saw Yun Chuzhou lying on the ground, suddenly panicking. I'm fine, you didn't hear any movement just now. Yun Chuzhou rolled her eyes, and her door was smashed. How could no one come to see such a big movement? No. Ah. Miss, how did this door break? Chunyu only found the door broken into slag. Yun Chuzhou thought to himself, I am afraid that Xiao Baiji had just used some magical powers to isolate her movements here. This little Bai is really unfathomable. Who is it? It's estimated that it's broken after years of failure. Let someone change it. Yun Chuzhou said lightly. Chunyu gave a mouth, not bad after years of disrepair, right? However, she is usually afraid of her original body. When the original body is in a bad mood, she often sighs with her. How dare she question? Miss, your clothes. Chunyu looked suspiciously at the clothes scattered on the ground, and at the snow silk brocade on Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou was about to speak, his ears moved, and someone came. Yun Chuzhou slid the dirty clothes on the body with his hands and feet. Huh? Where is the veil? Yun Chuzhou picked up the veil, his eyes flashed, and he remembered the hot pain on his right wrist and greeted Emperor Biming hundreds of times. Little white face, big pervert. I sucked the blood of my old lady and gave her a fetish. However, what did Xiaobalian do with her wrist? Is it to see if she is dead? Yun Chuzhou saw a strange fish embroidered on the corner of the veil. His eyes deepened and he closed the veil. This is a criminal evidence. One day, when Miss Nyo forks, she will abuse her little white face thousands of times. Let him kneel and sing her to conquer. Humph. When Yun Chuzhou was complacent, someone outside the door said respectfully, Miss 9, your host asked you to go to the study. Yun Family's Little Nine is Super Mischievous Chapter 9, Find Me a Rope. Pen Fun Club www.ntlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Yun Chujiu turned around and saw an old man standing outside the courtyard door. Yun Chujiu learned from the memory of his original body that this was the seasoned steward and was quite trusted by Yun Xiaotian. There is a respectful expression on Ji Guan's face, but Yun Chujiu can see the hidden anger and contempt in it, and he can't help but smile bitterly in his heart. Ji Butler, please tell your grandfather, I'll change my clothes, and I'll go right away. Yun Chujiu returned a half-ceremony and said politely. The steward of the seasoned steward stumbled, can these 9 ladies be possessed by ghosts? Actually so polite. Then, my heart sank, bad. She must be guilty in this way, wouldn't that Linglingdon be already ruined by her? When the housekeeper Ji was in doubt, Yun Chujiu coughed twice and said a little embarrassedly, Ji housekeeper, cough, my house is in disrepair for a long time, and trouble will help me reinstall. Yes. Miss 9, it is estimated that there has been a lot of rain recently, and it is estimated that it has been damp, so you can repair it. Cough, it's estimated that it can't be repaired, seasoned steward, you can see for yourself. Yun Chujiu signaled that the seasoned steward standing at the gate of the courtyard came in. Ji Butler walked into the yard suspiciously, and when he saw the scene in front of him, his eyes almost glared out. Who can tell him why a good door turned into a pile of slag? That door was made of hemlock. Hemlock's hardness is comparable to that of ironware, so who turned the door into like this? Miss 9, this, what is going on? That's how it was when I came back. I don't know, it's estimated that I'm in disrepair. Isn't it, spring rain? Yun Chujiu made a serious nonsense. Chun Yu nodded subconsciously, because the little girl didn't know who the culprit was. Ji Butler grabbed the scraps of a door, and Fei ran away as if there was a dog behind him. Yun Chujiu pouted, and muttered softly, it's such a big age, it's still so frizzy, we haven't had a steady spring rain yet. Chun Yu blushed, and the lady seemed to be different from before, but she liked such a lady very much. The master and servant entered the bedroom. Yun Chujiu was ready to change the dirty clothes on his body, opened the closet to see, could not help but be forced. Well, all the black clothes in the closet. No wonder when Chun Yu saw her wearing silver-white clothes just now, her eyes were so strange. Yun Chujiu found the reason in the memory of the original owner, because Bai Moyu once said that Yun Chujiu looks best in black clothes. Damn it! Originally long black, wearing black clothes, like a black charcoal bowl. The scumbag is purely ironic, and the original 2 lacks actually believe it. Yun Chujiu turned over for a long time, and finally turned to a moon-white dress, which was uniformed by the apprentices of the Yun family. The original body was always disgusted and was stuffed into the corner of the wardrobe. Stupid. Ignorant stupid. Yun Chujiu scolded and put on this moon-white dress. Yun Chujiu shot at the bronze mirror. Although the body was long and black, but looking closely, the facial features were quite delicate. Yun Chujiu felt so satisfied in his heart that it was not too bad. Chun Yu stood beside her. Although she was strange about her mumbling behavior, she didn't dare to talk. She stood sideways. Chun Yu, go, find a rope for me. Yun Chujiu's eyes flashed a sly gleam. Miss. Can't you think about it? You are going to die, and the slave servants are not alive. Chun Yu exclaimed in fear. What the hell? I'm not hanging. Go away. Yun Chujiu stared at his eyes. Chun Yu shook his neck scaredly, and went to find the rope obediently. Yun Chujiu touched his chin, and it seemed that the original body was a good thing. This little girl was quite obedient. Yun Family's Little Nine is Super Mischievous Chapter 10, Blown Up. Pen Fun Club www.ntlnovel.com, the fastest update of the latest chapter of Yinjia Xiaojiu Super Pick. Soon, Chun Yu found a rope, and tremblingly handed it to Yun Chujiu. Chun Yu made up her mind that if the young lady wanted to hang, she would stop her if she said anything. Yun Chujiu took the rope, then folded a thin branch from the tree in the yard, and tied it to the back with the rope. Miss, what are you going to do? Chun Yu was worried, wouldn't she be irritated by her family, would she be crazy? Take a good look at the yard, and I will meet my grandfather. Yun Chujiu finished speaking, and hurried to Yun Xiaotian's study. The people under Yun Fu saw Yun Chujiu's wonderful shape, and they were all dumbfounded. Did not Miss Jiu always wear only black clothes? Why did you wear a white disciple suit today? Couldn't it be that your brain is broken? What do you carry on a branch? Today is Master Changqing's death day. Is Miss Jiu excited? Pull it down. Saying a disrespectful word, this man has been chasing Bai Moyu all day long, and it is estimated that today is what day he forgot. I remember last year today, after the funeral of Master Changqing, he ran out and went to the restaurant with Bai Moyu without tears. It's a white-eyed wolf. Hush, be quiet. Let her hear that she is going to be in front of the house owner again, and there will be a punishment. Because of her, those side branches have great opinions on the owner, and our owner is kind, so such goods should be expelled from the Yun family. Yun Chujiu's ears were amazing, and after listening to everyone's whisper, her feet were staggering. Grandma's, how did she wear such a wonderful body? Combining people's comments and Yun Chu's previous behaviors, it seems that Yun Xiaotian has suppressed the stolen Juling Dan. Yun Chujiu has some good feelings for this unmasked cheap grandfather. Such white-eyed wolves can treat kindly, and it can be seen that Yun Xiaotian is a person who attaches great importance to love. In other words, Yun Xiaotian sent empathy and guilt to Yun Chujiu, but unfortunately the original idiot did not appreciate it. When Yun Chujiu bowed his head in contemplation, the road was stopped. This is really the sun coming out from the north. Yun Chujiu, you didn't go out today and fooled around with Bai Moyu? Gee, why didn't you wear your crow suit? What does it mean to carry a branch behind it? Could Bai Moyu like it? This tone. Ha ha ha. It was Yun Chuer in the second room, and his family ranked second. He usually bullied Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu rolled his eyes in his heart. The forest was big and there were all kinds of birds. This Yun Chuer usually bullied the original body. The reason why the original body was related to this bully. Second brother, my grandfather is anxious to find me something, and please let me go. Yun Chujiu said lightly. Yun Chuer was stunned. This Yun Chujiu was usually a miserable and gloomy look. Why is it so calm today? It's not impossible for me to give way. Recently, I have a little tight, 100 or 2 silver. Yun Chuer said with a smile. Although Yun Chujiu is a little orphan girl, Yun Xiaotian's old fellow is usually not lacking. Fill her. 102. Why don't you grab it? Get away. Yun Chujiu has 2 hobbies in his life, one is to eat and the other is money. Upon hearing Yun Chuer asking for money, he suddenly looks like a cat with a stomped tail. Exploded. Yun Chuer was taken aback by Yun Chujiu's hideous expression. He used to get money from Yun Chujiu. Why did he react so much this time? Yun Chuer couldn't help but feel annoyed and angry. Yun Chujiu, don't shame your face. You eat something inside and out. If you don't hand over the money, I will make you look good.